It's really great to come here and visit this place. It really is. And as I've said in many a video, you know, what it would be like to travel back in time and just see, you know, these places. I think the sound, the smell, the excitement and the fear would be just overwhelming. I think anybody who served here, you know, they are all heroes, men of men. Really nice thick wooden planks on here. I don't know whether you can see these, but I'll take you down there. Nice, really thick hardwood sections, probably measuring about 10 inches square, and these are probably around about 8 by 10. So really nice bits of timber. And the track is actually on the timber itself. They're bolted down. You can see the thick beams underneath. We're about halfway now, so this is the little island in the middle of the river where the river splits. So we're on to the second part now. Got some electric or telegraph cables there, I'm not quite sure. What makes this bridge interesting, apart from the curve on it, is, you know, actually how the track is curving, you can see the track is actually set into a camber, which is quite cool. And you can see this way, you can see again the camber is leaning into the turn. It's a beautiful bridge. And there we have it. You can see the track just finishes just here. It's beyond this. Look at the pomegranates. Yeah, loads of pomegranates around this area. You can see some there, and some here. Yeah. That is very tasty. I'm going to take that and take it back to the camper. Yeah. So the line finishes here, and that's it. Another sign. But yeah, as Donald Sutherland said in Kelly's Heroes, it's a beautiful bridge. Couple of jacket potatoes on the fire. We've probably travelled just over an hour today up a mountain logging route, and look at this. Gotta show you this. It's the ghost bike. Yeah. Yeah, this logging track is just really fine powder, and the wheel, even the truck wheels are white, look. Yeah, not good. I've just had the generator on, just had that running for around about 2, maybe 3 hours, warming the hot water up, and also putting some charge into the batteries. When we woke up this morning, the batteries were, I think, at 24%. Now we've had about 3 days of it being overcast, windy, cold. We've done some washing using the air fryer and things like that. So yeah, I've just put the generator on just to give the batteries a little bit of a boost. When we got here, like I said, we drove about just over an hour to get here, about half an hour on tarmac, and then sort of like 35 minutes coming up this mountain track. We're up here because somewhere up there, just on the ridge line, there's a fortification. So we're going up there tomorrow. So this is why we're up here. And this place, we're actually on park for the night. So it's ideal to park here. And I don't know whether we're going to walk up there tomorrow, depending on what the weather's like, or whether we'll abandon this camp, go up there in the truck, and then come back down here tomorrow. So we may end up being a couple of nights, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 nights here. But yeah, it's a beautiful camp. We're in northern Greece, and we're that far north that on that ridge line there, that's the border with Bulgaria. So yeah, we're right on the border, and it is cold. We've got this fire going. We've had the fire going since around about 3 o'clock. It is cold. The temperature in the cab is saying 15 degrees, but that's not always true because that's sitting above the engine. So I would say it's probably about 8 or 9 degrees now, and I would imagine overnight we're going to get temperatures right down to just about freezing. I've just mentioned to Helen as well, I mean, we haven't seen any of we haven't seen much of the wet stuff yet, and I certainly don't hope that we don't see any of the white stuff neither. So because like I said, we are quite a distance from tarmac. But yeah, this is tonight's camp. A little bit of a meadow, mountain meadow. Helen's got a few cameras out, so I'm hoping that she's going to capture some wildlife, and I do hope that we're going to see some wildlife as well. Yeah, very quiet. To say we've had over 3 months now of barking dogs, morning call to prayer. Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be is going to be nice. So this is it. Yes, this is it. This is the mountain camp, and we're looking forward to spending maybe a few days here. I don't know which way we're going. Right. Ooh. Well, this makes a change. It's wet cloudy stuff. There. Chocks under. Well, that has been a very interesting drive up. It's not quite raining, although it has been very wet and damp. Thankfully, the track on the way up is actually quite sandy. Yeah, really sandy soil. But yeah, there are a couple of places coming up there which were very, I'm going to say a little bit scary, because it is, I mean, we haven't really got great chunky knobbly tyres on, and wet soil isn't the best to drive on, even with knobbly tyres. But yeah, we've come up here and we've actually reached our destination. Now, it's forecasted rain for the next 2 days, and this is actually, we come up here this morning, this is actually late afternoon, it's 4 p.m. now, so it's been raining all day. And it's forecasted rain for the next couple of days. However, what I'm wanting to film, what I wanted to show you and tell you the story about is all in these trees just behind us here. And we've actually come further up the mountain, and what I'm guessing we've got here is a absolutely blinding view, but you can't see it today. So today's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday raining, Saturday it's coming sunny. So it looks like we're going to spend 2 days up here, just waiting around for the weather to clear. I'm not too concerned about the rain now, because we have got up here, and like I said, even though it's been raining all day, the soil is quite sandy, so I'm quite sure we can get back down okay. There's been a military vehicle come past, and they've stopped and said everything all right, you know. Yeah, he says just be careful because it can snow up here, which is what I said a little bit ago on the video when we stopped further down the valley there. So yeah, this is it. No sun today, and there's no sun for the next couple of days. So I've just come out, it's getting cold actually, I've just come out just to start the generator up. The batteries are now at, I think, about 52%, so the batteries are doing all right. So I'm just going to fire up the generator really, just to warm the hot water, and again put a little bit of power in there. I'll just quickly spin you around and then you can see where we are. So we've got some sort of an old military building back here. We've got, in fact, that's something military because that's camouflaged there. In fact, let's have a quick look. We've passed, on the way up, we've passed loads of logging type vehicles, tractors, trailers and things like that. So we've got a couple of tractors over there, and I did say to Helen, I said, we've got a bath here. I said, if we get some wood underneath that and get a fire going, that would make a nice bath, that, especially if we got fresh water coming in. Have we got fresh water coming in? Now, like, how cool would that be if we could clean that out, get a fire underneath it, and yeah, have a bath. And there's some taps here. No water in them pipes. Yeah. Right, okay. We're at 62% on us water, so we're okay for water. But yeah, that would be so funny, that. Having a bath up here and getting fire going. So what have we got here? We've got a little bit of a shrine. Other shrines or other churches, I'm not quite sure. Oh, look at this. So we've got a little bit of a log pile, we've got a fire, and we've got some sort of a cabin here. Oh, water. I don't know whether that's alcohol or whether it's cooking oil. In there's a couple of beds. And we've got a little fire. A little stove. There's a lot of military activity in Greece, and especially on this border with Bulgaria, because I think they've had a few run-ins with Bulgarians. Is that right? In the past. I just tripped over my lace. I haven't got my boots fastened. So yeah, this would be quite nice. Yeah, if the sun would come out, which I'm quite sure it will do towards the weekend, I'll be able to get the drone up and we'll be able to have a good explore in these woods. Really interesting story. This is one of the best wartime stories I'll probably told on this trip, so stick around for that. Right, I'm going to put the generator on, get some juice into the batteries and get some hot water. Good morning. Yes, so the cloud has broke this morning, even though it's just coming literally now as we've left the camper. The rain and the drizzle has stopped, which is good, and it is the weekend. We're wearing vests. Helen's got hers on, quite simply because we've seen 3 or 4 cars coming up, 4x4s, with hunters in them, and they'll be around here somewhere shooting. So as you've seen a lot of European countries, when the guys are out shooting or hunting, they'll tend to wear fluorescent coloured jackets. So yes, that's why we're wearing the Ivis tops this morning. So we have brought you to the Metaxas Line, which is Greek's equivalent to the Maginot Line in France. We're at a couple of gunning positions, which are P7, P8 and P9, which were machine gun outposts. Although on a short walk yesterday, I found just up this track there was what looked to be artillery points. So we're going to visit the artillery points first and yeah, check them out. Right, while we're just passing, I'll show you what's in here. I had a peek in here yesterday. So you can see we've got a room at this side, which I'm thinking were maybe bunk beds. We've got a room at this far side, again bunk beds again. I'm going to say these could be water tanks. We've got a wash basin, and then this just goes up and goes out through an arch. 408. So I'm guessing they're little offshots like this, where rather than keeping the guys all sleeping in the buildings down there, they had guys positioned here, there and everywhere, just scattered around. So if when the war broke out, if they had any trouble, they can activate themselves from there. Alright, catch Helen up now. So this is, I think, one of 3 artillery points. They seem to have it's sort of like a triangular shape. You've got an exit here, or an entrance, and one at the other side and one here. So I'm guessing the gun would have been positioned here, and the German advances would have been coming from from the north, so the guns would have been facing over this way. There's one just over this way, or another two should I say. We've got this one here, same again, sort of like same sort of setup where we've got entrances at either side. You'll see it better on the third one just here. So you can see there's actually a bit of a road into this. So I'm guessing the gun would have sat here, and you've got this little bit of a lowered area. Probably had the cargo nets over the top. Like I said, probably the gun were firing over in this direction here. So yeah, if I am wrong with calling them artillery positions, then please, you know, put it down in the comments. But like I said, it seems very strange how they are positioned, sort of like three in a line. I don't know what's in them bushes there, whether that's where the munitions were kept, I don't know, but yeah, quite a nice open area. Now, going back to the beginning of the war, they started building the Metaxas Line. However, it wasn't complete when the Germans actually decided to invade. But from some of the photos, this hillside was actually cleared of trees. So even though we're going into these trees here, where position 8 is, at the time this would have been quite open. So bear that in mind. Right, I'm gonna make an assumption that this is machine gun nest number 7. So we've got 3 in this area, 7, 8 and 9. The main one is number 8. So I could be wrong in this, but yeah, we've got number 8 certainly in the middle, and I'm guessing number 9 is that side. It could be numbered the other way, but we'll have a look inside this one. Not very large, but obviously there were just machine gun nests. So this is looking more to the west and looking again over the sort of like the horizon of the hill behind where Helen is now. Number 8, we're looking more north, and number 9, as I'm calling it, would have been looking more northeasterly, covering the valley. Here we've got some vents. This is again, I think, some sort of a accommodation block. It's got the arch at the top, which we'll have a look at that in a second. I'll just show you this first, which is, I think it's just a little bit of a storeroom, a garage. Yeah. Not much in here. So we've got the P8 bunker just in front where the memorial is, and then we've got the P9 which is just in the trees there. I'll show you this place just here. And this goes up to the actual roof. And again, in this one we've got what looks like wash basin. Not quite sure what this is, but then maybe you have bunk beds at either side of here. I don't know. Like I said, them places having wash basins in there seems to be maybe just like sleeping quarters, and they were very close to the machine gun nests. So you can see this area is just full of old trenches. And I have walked around this area, and these trenches go right the way over the top as well, just up here. And they do run back down to where the camper is at the far side. So now walking to the bunker P9. I said, if I am wrong with this, please comment down below. Massive cobweb. There we go. Not quite sure whether this meshing is original or not. Yeah, that's looking out. Same again, remember that all these trees would have been felled, and this would have been looking sort of like down, slightly northeast maybe, looking down into the valley. So I'm quite sure this would have been cleared in the front here to give it a good line of sight. We'll go in this one. I'll show you this one from the back door again. So that's the back entrance of P9 bunker, and you can see we've got a bit of a fork here going off with the trenches, and this runs round here, this trench, and goes all the way back up to P8. This I think would have been quite one of the highest machine gun ports. Like I said, we've got P9 down there, and back the other way P7 is just through the trees. You're not going to be able to see that, but this would have been the slightly higher one. So let's go and have a look at this. So this is split into what looks like two parts. On the left side, this looks to be covering P7, which is out that way. You can see the swivel for the machine gun there. This one would also be covering the P9 bunker, and also looking that way. And here we have the salamander. So I'm going to tell you now the story about Sergeant Dimitrios Itsios and his body, or his execution, took place literally just on the hill behind here. It's a sad story, but war does have many sad stories, and I hope you can bear with me for the next 5 minutes that I'm going to tell you a story about this Greek hero. So here goes. Dimitrios Itsios, 35 years old, just turned 35 years old. He got executed the day after his 35th birthday. So when the Germans started to attack Beautiful Hill, Dimitrios was in charge, and he was actually undermanned. A lot of the soldiers were fighting in the west, so he only had a handful of men here. So the German attacked from this direction with the 6th Mountain Division, and every attack, every wave were actually stopped with these 3 machine gun positions. The attacks kept coming, and it was quite obvious to Dimitrios that they could no longer hold this position. So he actually ordered his men to retreat to the inner circle. 2 soldiers disobeyed his orders and decided to stay here with him. The fighting continued for a further 4.5 hours, and in that time Dimitrios Itsios and the 2 soldiers had fired 38,000 rounds at the Germans. After firing 38,000 rounds, the machine gun posts fell silent because they ran out of ammunition. But in the 4 hours of fighting, 238 Germans and 1 high-ranking officer got killed. Now, when the Germans actually arrived here, they took Itsios and the 2 soldiers prisoners of war. And the German commander at the time, Field Marshal Ferdinand Schörner, he came up here and spoke to the 3 soldiers that was here. And the conversation went something like this.
Who is the commanding officer of this bunker? Me, sir. You, a sergeant? Isn't there a higher ranking officer, a colonel, a major? No, sir, only me and these 2 soldiers. Sergeant, this is your work. I congratulate you. do you know that you killed almost all the men sent against you, plus one colonel? I'm sorry, sir, but I was defending my country. I'm sorry too, but I have to do my duty as well.
Just a day after his 35th birthday, and were executed just here. Since he was a prisoner of war at the time, it was one of the first war crimes committed on Greek soil. Field Marshal Ferdinand Schörner died in 1973. He was never charged with any war crimes.